All the way from the great state of West Virginia to Buenos Aires, Argentina, my mom decided to fly out to see us. It had been over a year since we had seen my mom last, and you could say that we were excited to be reunited here at the airport. She just couldn't get to us fast enough for that reunited at last hug and to start her vacation here with us in Argentina. This was the moment that we had been waiting an entire year for. Wipe those tears, Mom, and dry those eyes. It's time to go, and catch an Uber into the city so that we could start the grand tour of our current digs. Gifts were exchanged, and my mom brought us some much-needed American candy. And Pokemon cards provided by my brother.
Alex Garrett, that cool guy, giving him a shout out on YouTube.
Okay, candy and cards put away, we wanted to give my mom a warm welcome to Argentina, and what better way than through a traditional meal? We aimed for a real deal parrilla so that she got to experience the fabulous meat dishes that this country has to offer. What better way to start a journey in Argentina than with an empanada? These ones were filled with beef and looking oh so good. And as expected, these were mom approved, and not just by her, but everyone at the table had great things to say about the appetizer here. Now on to the first main course. We have asado, which are long uncut beef short ribs with a generous fat content, making them incredibly juicy and irresistible.
Oh, could you please put one in your mouth?
Okay, so as he was directed, the food reviewer here put one in his mouth and was shocked at how juicy and flavorful that asado is. The asado was served with salsa criolla and chimichurri to enhance the flavor, and boy did it. Alright, so main course number 2, we have milanesa, which in my eyes is similar to a chicken parm, a breaded piece of meat topped with cheese and fresh tomatoes. The cheese layer was so thick that it had to be cut through with a knife. Oh, I want some more now.
Right, restaurant. Oh, beautiful. Is that beef? Yes, it is.
Yo.
Cheese pull. Did you get any meat?
That's a sure sign of approval.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we just kept eating and catching up. A lot had happened in the year that we spent apart, and it would take longer than one feast in Argentina to get up to speed, but we were committed to it. Honestly, we were just glad that she was enjoying her first of many meals on the food tour of the city. Meanwhile, in the background, someone went on salt overload, and she was caught red-handed. Oh man, our tanks were getting full, and we took our last bites and ended up sitting in a little bit of a daze at how heavy that this meal was, but we're just getting started. Voiceover guy here was way too full, but our membership in the Clean Plate Club was solidified. There are so many local parillas like this in Buenos Aires, and we would encourage you to check them all out. You'll be welcomed with the feast of your life and true local experience. And that sentiment, you guessed it, is also mom approved. We may have been stuffed full, but smiles were all around this table as we discussed the game plan for the rest of my mom's first night in the city. You know what though, we're so full, let's just call it a night. Alrighty, good morning and welcome to my mom's first full day in Buenos Aires. We started the day with the famous Ateneo bookstore as requested by our guest.
Okay, so we are here. This is our second time at the bookstore, but we brought a special guest here back in the white jacket, my mom. We're looking forward to introducing her to all the really cool foods and drinks and sights here, and we'll keep you updated along the journey, and we'll get her opinion on everything too, which I think would be really cool.
This taking a picture pose became the norm, but we were just glad to see my mom enjoying herself. There's a lot to admire at this bookstore, from paintings on the ceiling to the well-preserved interior and an endless selection of books, so my mom wasn't the only one enjoying herself here. Speaking of the ceiling, it was painted in 1919 by the Italian artist Nazareno Orlandi, and its subject matter was celebrating the end of World War I and peace at last. As you can see from the stage, this is a former theater that was converted to a bookstore in Y2K. Mom pointed out her next read here, and we continued to wander the aisles admiring the wide array of Spanish language books that we couldn't read, but the environment really made up for that. The bottom floor filled with books is cool and all, but this place is really better from a higher floor, and we explored every one of them for that true tourist experience. From romance novels to Japanese manga to a small corner that actually had English language books, my mom certainly enjoyed seeing what National Geographic once called the world's most beautiful bookstore. The top floor became a cafe, the theater boxes now are reading nooks, and the basement is filled with vinyl records, and this bookstore serves as just one piece of beautifully preserved architecture in a nearly 500-year-old city where preservation and restoration are the theme. Time goes by so quickly when you're admiring 100-year-old paintings and sounding out Spanish words, and we couldn't seem to get enough of the store, but more fun awaited us outside, so we got some group photos and we gathered the rest of our footage, slowly but surely wrapping up our tour of El Ateneo. Okay, at long last, the bookstore tour actually is over and we headed for the door. It's just hard to stop admiring this place. Back out into the crisp winter air to start a slow touristy walk downtown to the obelisk, but not before a celebrity encounter! My mom met Lionel Messi, guys, or should I say Lionel Messi met the legend that is my mom. Alright, celebrity encounters are over, back to walking, and Mom staring nervously at the camera, not really knowing what to do. Check out that smile. Well, okay Mom, the obelisk is going to have to wait a minute. The resident sneakerhead saw the Nike store and had to give it a look. Keep your eyes peeled for the shoes that I'm wearing, they're red and white. My mom brought me SB Dunks and I was in a sneaker mood, so I went looking for pair number 2. We crossed the loud, bustling streets admiring the buildings, and I was behind the camera daydreaming of Jordan retros, and yeah, that's not gonna fit in the suitcase, but I swear I'll make it work. Honestly though, the store was pretty underwhelming and the credit cards were safe for now, so we just went ahead and moved on. The catching up continued at a park just outside of the downtown area, and Mom tried her best not to do her look at the camera move. I'll give her credit though, she was getting the hang of this B-roll thing. We chatted some more and joked about the dogs running around, and then it was back to walking and checking out old theaters and hopefully the obelisk soon. We checked out the famous Teatro Colón from the outside, but kept this show rolling towards the obelisk. And there it is, feast your eyes on the obelisk. Whoop, little switcheroo, chivalry is not dead. So fair warning, we had no idea what was happening at City Center, but we were just happy to observe the colors and Argentinians with their ever-present strong national pride. Lots of flags and blue powder, and Messi watching over from behind, just another day in Buenos Aires. We sat and we watched the show until the sun set, but there was somewhere else that we had been looking forward to taking my mom, but not before one more photo shoot. In our opinion, the obelisk is even better at night when it's all lit up, so we joined the other tourists for a view on this well-touristed overlook. Here come the tourists back down, so it's time to hit up one of our favorites. Call the Uber, guys. Let's get it rolling here. We've noticed in the month that we've spent here that it really comes alive at night, and if you look closely, we were greeted with some impromptu tango dancing while we waited on that Uber to arrive. Enough dancing, let's head out.
You guys can go. Yeah. You can just go. Yeah.
And after that bit of confusion, we bring you Chinatown, what is quickly becoming one of our favorite places in this city. My mom enjoyed our first Chinatown video and she wanted to see it for herself, and she didn't have to do much convincing for us to happily oblige. It had been a while since we had eaten last, and we saved our appetite for some food in Chinatown. Maybe something new? This Korean corn dog caught our eye before, and this was the perfect time to give it a shot. Let's hope that it lives up to the hype. We were after this cheese-filled corn dog with sausage in it, and I know that it was going to be a hit. We discussed life's important issues like what condiments to put on a Korean corn dog and came up with ketchup and cheese. Let us know in the comments if we made the right choice here. Spoiler alert, we absolutely did. Sorry to all you mustard diehard fans out there, but we just aren't really into that. Time for the best part, the food review, and we will let our honorary guest take the first bite as we share this monstrosity of a culinary masterpiece.
Not too bad.
Geez, save some for the rest of us. That is a 2 thumbs up from me. We took turns indulging in this work of art until the bitter end of the stick. Can we get back in line for seconds? Mom enjoyed the last of the dog, and this place was packing in the people, so we called it on the appetizers and went hunting for an entree. Another awkward smile at the camera, and we were off into the night. A big bowl of something hot was just what this chilly night needed, and there was no shortage of that in Chinatown. You already know it's ramen time, guys. This ramen restaurant had just what we had hoped for. Hot broth, nice protein, and a great conversation, plus my mom trying to be cool for the camera. A big kudos to her for coming a long way in her chopstick skills as well. A few more bowls and you'll be a pro. Now speaking of chopsticks, let's get in there and take a bite. We thoroughly enjoyed these noodles and made quick work of this bowl. The broth was so rich and just what the doctor ordered on a cold night like this. And you can't have a big bowl of noodles without some food shenanigans, am I right? The last sips of the bowl were taken and it was time for a surprise interview. Stay tuned as we get my mom's first thoughts on this city. Okay, we're here with Mom. What do you think so far about the city?
I think it's great. It's big. There's a lot to do. The food's been amazing so far. I mean, of course, the company's even better. But yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, what food? What food was your favorite so far today and yesterday? You've been here one full day now.
Yesterday for me had to have been the empanadas. That was my favorite.
I said that.
And then today, I don't know, it would have to be a toss-up between your steak, of course, they're always amazing, but I love ramen. I think ramen today,
wow.
You know, other than your steak, the ramen would be...
Very local.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Korean food, I don't remember what it was called.
We've had Korean, it was like a Korean hot dog. Here we are at the table, guys. What's going on? Had the Korean hot dog, we have the Japanese ramen. We had the Argentinian steak, we had Argentinian snacks. We're doing it all.
So on the subject of doing it all, we saw free samples being handed out of Korean bulgogi beef, one of my favorites that I was excited for my mom to try. And just because I ate dinner doesn't mean I'll ever turn down a free sample, guys. Watch closely for her real introduction to Korean food here.
Gracias.
So we waited on Mom to go use the bathroom, but she had a little bit of an issue figuring out how to get back out to us. After a truly multicultural day, it was time to take the train back home. See you guys tomorrow for another food tour. Good night. Welcome to day 3, also known as Pizza Day. In Palermo, there is a square pizza restaurant reminiscent of my hometown favorite, DeCarlo's Pizza, Ohio Valley style. Without a doubt, it had to be our first stop, and we were so excited for this. Cheers to great company and what we hoped would be another excellent day of eating. This square pizza restaurant also served Italian-inspired beverages, and we gave it a shot to start the day, when in Rome, in Buenos Aires. Enjoy some professional cinematic B-roll of our pizza before the first bites. Aw, she looks hungry. Let her eat, guys. Expert level cheese pull, followed by a pizza cheers, followed by an and a smile. This would serve as today's theme. We discussed how rich the cheese was and how this is just the first stop of the day, and prepared our stomachs for dairy overload. Wipe the mouth, pay the bill, hit the road, you know the drill by now. Hopefully we can get some steps in to walk off the meal that we just had before we rinse and repeat on Pizza Day. On our way back, we passed a store that sells spices and dried fruits and saw my mom's name Melissa on a jar. If anyone from Argentina is watching this, can you let us know exactly what this was? It's hard to catch up on an entire year in a couple days, and our stomachs needed a rest, so we headed back to the apartment for some downtime, but not for too long because we headed back out to Palermo, Soho for weekend markets and more, hopefully slightly lighter, pizza. If you watched our previous videos, you saw us watch the World Cup finals here, and we enjoyed it so much that we took my mom there. But this pizza was not lighter, and we learned very quickly how much Argentina loves cheese, but we embraced it. An amazing cheese pool, and oh no, not the pepper, she lost it. Okay, in her defense, it was very difficult to be photogenic with this intense layer of cheese, so we just dug in, not too awfully worried about how we looked doing it.
Pizza cheers!
Alright guys, we are on day 2 of my mom's trip through Buenos Aires. We are back where we ate pizza for the World Cup final. We watched half of it here, and this is our second pizza spot of the day. This is Kentucky Pizza. It's a chain here, and I know chain pizza doesn't sound all that special, but man, the chain pizza here is no joke. If you're ever coming to Buenos Aires, eat the pizza. Look how cheesy, deep dish, love it. I don't know how we picked this thing up, but drop a little pepper off, you know. So cheesy. Got ham, cheese, peppers. Can't beat it. Any pizza's good pizza.
As with anywhere else, football on the TV and folks just enjoying a slice and watching the game. I think I could get used to this lifestyle. We had asked our waitress what her favorite place for gelato in the area was, and she dropped a pin for us, which we zipped up our coats for to get back out there and find. Dairy overload was the goal today, remember? Another fun, awkward look at the camera, and we were off. More awkward looks exchanged. We had no idea where to go. I thought it was this way. Actually, we went the wrong way. Way to go. Yeah, we had to backtrack a little bit here. Fantastic sense of direction. We ran into more market stalls, and this time we decided to stop and take a look at them. This one actually is a traditional art form called fileteado. We weaved back through the stalls, and this guy consulted Google Maps for the elusive gelato place, and just like that, we were off again. Pizza box in hand, we saved some slices for later and hunted down some local recommended dessert. Here we are translating our order into Spanish at Nicolo, an extremely popular spot for gelato, Argentina's take on what we may know as gelato. There's old voiceover guy goofily showing the translation, watching his dessert get made. Gelato cheers, and let's give it a shot.
And move it in so it focuses, and then back, and now we
Look at her becoming an old pro at this food review thing, and this gelato was rated as mom approved.
all right.
No, it's good. It's actually really good. Actually, what I hope for is
Dulce de leche. Always good.
Sitting and discussing how full we were was becoming the norm and swore that this was the last stop of the dairy day. Though it was so hard to put down the gelato because it is just so rich and creamy and addicting, and even though our bodies said, please no more dairy, we just kept shoveling. Such is life in food heaven, Argentina. I can confidently say that Nicolo Gelato was a success, and we enjoyed a slow, full stomach waddle back to our apartment to call it a night. See you tomorrow. Welcome to what probably was my favorite day of mom's visit, the cultural day. Because it was a Sunday, we started in San Telmo Sunday Fair, exploring the wide array of stalls nestled between gorgeous architecture. This market was rocking, as always on Sundays here, but you don't have to buy something to admire the incredible churches and the fun vibe that this neighborhood delivers every single weekend. Here you can see the Three Stooges themselves wandering around, wondering what to buy and taking it all in. We were especially taken by local art representing Buenos Aires classics like Tango, the La Boca neighborhood, and the many traditions that are still alive and well in this city. And maybe she was getting better at B-roll yesterday, but mom took a different approach today, locking eyes with the camera while exploring all the stalls. But our special guest had her heart set on seeing the Pink Building, as she called it, otherwise known as Casa Rosada, which is the official workplace of the nation's president and the executive branch of Argentina. Finalized in 1898, Casa Rosada served as the location where the famous Juan and Evita Perón addressed the Argentinian people in the 40s and 50s from the balconies. So, in other words, it is a fantastic place for us tourists to take some pictures. Just photo ops galore. We gathered all of our pictures here in the hot sun, and the girls decided to pop open Google Maps to make sure that the boy brain wouldn't get us lost here in the beautiful streets of San Telmo, though I think there are much worse places to get lost. The entirety of this section of San Telmo is both grandiose and gorgeous, bustling and modern, but historic, and really represents the complexity and the depth of Argentina's rich history. So speaking of guest request, we realized in the distance was the bridge that mom had been talking about wanting to see. So we hit the road again and got our bearings, understanding just how close the more modern neighborhood of Puerto Madero was. So we did our best impression of Back to the Future, time traveling from the 19th century all the way back to modern day. But not before another photo op, though I don't blame her one bit because this was the first cluster of modern skyscrapers that we had witnessed in this centuries-old city, so we had to document it. And what better way to follow up a photo op than with another photo op, like mother like son, as we caught a glimpse of the bridge, otherwise known in English as the Women's Bridge. Designed by Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, this bridge is a tribute to a couple dancing the tango and marks the beginning of the Puerto Madero neighborhood. The bridge itself can actually swing 90 degrees to allow boats to pass through, and it is a popular meeting point for tourists and locals since there are many restaurants and bars surrounding it on the water. And sitting in the water to the right was a well-preserved old ship that looked like something out of Pirates of the Caribbean. But we decided to skip the pirate ship tour and get straight to the food and drinks because we had worked up quite a thirst from haggling at the Sunday market. Cheers to a great start to another packed day of checking off everything on my mom's Buenos Aires bucket list, among some extra additions like taking pictures of everything. I guess I am my mother's son, and the phone always eats first. And speaking of eating, check out this mind-blowingly American platter of fried cheeses and appetizers and absolute calorie bomb that topped off such a perfect day in the sun, even though Mom wasn't a big fan of the mayonnaise edition here. It was hard to pick just one of these comfort foods as our favorite, but I think the onion rings were quite a hit with this group. The ambiance of eating fried comfort foods and drinking sweet drinks by the water, even in the wintertime, was enough for us to put this high on our come back again list for a warmer day. We obviously had not been feeding my mom enough dairy, as you could see from today and yesterday, so she dipped her cheese balls in more cheese and lined her stomach for the week to come. In a mom-approved moment to end the meal as we packed it up and headed to that moment that she had been waiting for, the Women's Bridge photo ops guys. We encountered our fair share of special guests like Women's Bridge Chewbacca, Pirates of the Caribbean met Star Wars on this sunny day in Puerto Madero. Sometimes you have to just sit on the bridge and admire the water and fake a conversation for some sick B-roll shots, all in a day's work for mom turned YouTube sensation. Speaking of special guests, I'll just let this video speak for itself. And speaking of restaurants, maybe stop by What the Burger to get yourself an entree here in Puerto Madero. So we had only really taken Uber rides so far, and Mom hadn't gotten the real city experience, so we headed to the bus stop, had some awkward mother and son recording moments, and waited on some good old-fashioned public transportation so we could continue the tourism. We had gone out to eat a lot, so it was time for a home-cooked meal of gnocchis and beef before getting ready for tonight's fun. The girlies and voiceover guy were just about ready to go here. So we went ahead and called the Uber, and it was back into the night to catch a show at a place that we had been dreaming of since we landed here. I'll say it again, I really think downtown Buenos Aires looks better at night. These theaters and historic buildings are spectacular when they're lit up. Open the door for this sassy and fancy lady. Let's head into Tango Porteño for a show at one of the premier tango venues of the city. Sassiness aside, this venue celebrates the 1940s golden age of tango with big productions in a flashy venue right downtown near the obelisk. If you want the ultimate tango experience in the city and a night to remember, get your tickets and follow the sparkly lights in. You will not regret it. Since we had planned ahead and already eaten dinner, we passed on the dinner option here and headed upstairs for front row seats to witness Argentina's most famous dance on full display. Every step that we took closer to the stage gave us a glimpse of how ornate and spectacular it really was and how much effort had been put into keeping this 1930s cinema house functioning at peak performance. It was near impossible to choose the perfect seat, but spoiler alert, all of them really were. But us perfectionists wanted the best seat in the house, so we took our sweet time finding our way down. Seeing the bottom floor of the venue eating steak dinner had Mom wondering if she had made the right choice eating our gnocchis, or if maybe she should have bought the dinner option and come solo. Sorry, we thought the show was starting, but we just got a bonus magician before the curtains raised for the main performance. There they are, looking sassy, happy, and in thumbnail mode as they awaited the performance and, of course, another photo op. But we aren't nearly as coordinated as the tango dancers.
2, 1, 2,
She's
3.
not doing it.
I thought you said 3. You said
Enough
turn.
yapping by voiceover guy, I'm gonna sit back and let you enjoy a select few pieces of such a fabulous show.
por disfrutar de esta noche única y especial dedicada al tango. La dirección artística estuvo a cargo de Carmen Villorrani y Luciano Cáceres. Producción general, Tango por Telmo.
We hope you all enjoyed the show just as much as we did, but it was well after midnight, and even though Argentinians are night owls, we haven't exactly adjusted to that lifestyle yet, so we sleepily headed for the door, ready to catch some Z's in preparation for, you guessed it, another day of tourism. Back down the stairs went 3 exhausted tourists waiting on the Uber to arrive to sweep us up and whisk us away to our beds in dreamland. Back past that theater and into the night, see you tomorrow for more tourism and not looking forward to Mom's approaching flight. So the last full day of Mom's stay started a little bit differently at the grocery store, but we wanted to send her home with lots of goodies like alfajores and other sweets, so to Coto we went. An alfajor is an Argentinian classic treat which consists of 2 cookies sandwiching filling like dulce de leche. There are so many varieties to try here and we didn't want anyone to miss out, so we sent Mom home with a bunch. We perused all the aisles of the grocery store, picking out plenty of classics to send home as souvenirs to kick off that dreaded last full day. Remember all that talk about cheese and dairy? Well, you can tell just judging by the grocery store how much locals love their cheese. Days packed full of dairy called for something a little bit different for lunch, so we washed the cheese down with some Vietnamese pho, one of our favorites. And fun fact, the food that introduced my mom to chopsticks. And you know, as always, the phone eats first. Savory, irresistible, and filling, a great bowl of Vietnamese pho is always complemented by a selfie. We took some time here to reflect on how multicultural the food that we had been eating on my mom's vacation was. Everything from Argentinian comfort food to Japanese ramen, now Vietnamese pho, American appetizers, Italian drinks, and even trying Korean food. It was more than just a tour of Argentina, and it wasn't over yet. I'll take another chance here to give my mom kudos for her chopstick prowess. She really is getting the hang of it, and she's ready to tackle more Asian cuisines. But alas, maybe the next cuisine will be a little less spicy. Not a big cilantro lover, I'm with you there, but using your bare hands, getting caught red-handed, get ready for this moment. This is fun. I'm just gonna let you watch this one. Mom fished out the rest of her cilantro, we finished our pho, and decided to relax for the rest of the day. But the evening brought us to a very familiar location if you've been keeping up with our content. Smiles all around for a trip to El Boliche de Roberto, but just enjoy the music. I don't want to ruin it with my yapping. Okay, so my mom had one final request on her tour de Argentina, and that was locro, an iconic Argentinian soup. This restaurant called 1810 is one of the city's premier spots for the dish, and what better way to end a night of local music than with a full belly of local comfort food? If you were wondering and you're a history buff, the significance of the year 1810 was the beginning of the May Revolution, which at its conclusion was the beginning of Argentina's independence from Spain. Here is some footage of our hearty nightcap meal of locro. Note that we don't have any flashy b-roll of the soup or crazy cinematics because sometimes you just need a little family time away from the camera, but I hope you do enjoy the shots that we did capture here. It was hard to let go and we hung on to this moment at the table as long as we could because nobody was ready to grasp that this was Mom's last night and we savored every minute of it. It was hard to say goodnight, but we will see you tomorrow for the travel day. Alright, that dreaded sad travel day is here, but we're gonna forget about that for a second because we have coffee to drink. Buenos Aires is chock full of coffee shops that are something out of the movies, so we gave my mom the real experience with a hot cup of joe to send her off, and included a bonus clip of a sweet old car for all you gearheads out there. Into the cute coffee shop, skip the ordering, let's get to the good part. Coffee cheers! I'm a big espresso guy, but this double really melted my brain and you can tell by my reaction. Not just coffee, but lunch too, and oh Mom, you thought we forgot that the phone eats first. Get that into the camera roll ASAP. A chicken sandwich and some wraps after almost a week of intensely heavy meals was the proper way to start a long day of travel for my mom. We planned ahead because, you know, we're seasoned better into this travel thing, right? I don't know about that, but we wanted to give her the best light send-off to get on a plane that we could. See you later, coffee shop. Thanks for the food and drinks, but we had a train to catch. All aboard the Buenos Aires Express line directly to the airport. It was all smiles now, but we were desperately trying to hide the sadness. We weren't ready to end this dream vacation, and we wished that we could keep it going as long as we could, but unfortunately real life came calling and Mom had to go back home. So we maneuvered her suitcases into an Uber and hit the road, saying goodbye to the city and such great memories.